even when we sin, even when we rebel against God, even when we become enemies of God, even when we harm and hurt ourselves and those around us, God is still loving and protecting us. Yes, He is a holy and a just God, and He must do what He has to do out of His nature. But part of His nature is still love. And since we are made in His image, we are made so precious and so dearly loved. Even in our own rebellion, God continues to protect and defend us. How do you know this? Here it is in chapter 3, verse 22 of Genesis. And the Lord God said, the man has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. Yes, in that aspect of the familiarity to evil, yes, but before that Adam and Eve were just like God in so many wonderful ways. But yes, we have become knowledgeable through rebellion, through sin. And so what has happened now? He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat and live forever. So this is God's compassion. He said that yes, they are now evil creatures. They are now evil in so many ways, and they will face judgment. But if they eat from the tree of life, which interestingly God had placed next to the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and He had not forbidden them from eating from this tree. But sadly they went for the wrong tree. Imagine if they had eaten from this tree. We don't know where the story of the world would be if they had eaten directly from the tree of life. But now that they've eaten from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and if they eat from the tree of life, what will happen is they will live in their sin forever. They'll be doomed permanently and totally to live in a sinful nature. So Adam and Eve technically would have been alive today, and the population of the world, so to speak, would explode, and the evil will multiply like anything. We read later in the next few chapters that men live to be very old, 700, 800, and sin continued to multiply because men never died or didn't die for long. So they sinned so much more than if a man lived for an average season. So what did he do in verse 23? So the Lord God banished him from the Garden of Eden to work the ground, and from which he had been taken. After He drove the man out, He placed on the east side of the Garden of Eden cherubim and a flaming sword flashing back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life. So yes, God protects and defends us, and even makes provisions for us, even in our own sinful nature. And yes, sometimes we will suffer loss of privileges because of our sin, and many kinds of blessings. But He will continue to protect us and defend us from further calamities in our lives. So that is the kind of gracious God we worship, and I hope that you will continue to hear His voice, which leads you to life. God bless you.